Hey everybody, Brad Havermeyer, Hollywood acting coach. Exciting episode today. We all know that horror movies are huge. They're everywhere. Horror movies on all the streaming services. They're going nuts for horror movies. So today we're going to talk about techniques to help you get through a horror movie. Enjoy your time doing the horror movie. Just bring your best efforts to a horror movie. So some of the things you have to remember about a horror movie is they're scary, right? So there's going to be an air of scare around it. That's pretty good, right? An air of scare will be surrounding the movie. So you're going to be walking in strange places, and you're going to be looking around, and you're not going to feel that good. You're going to feel a little uncomfortable, and you're going to be questioning yourself. So you want to see a lot of the questions. What's going on? This is strange. There's a place. We'll have some lore about the place. There was a killer that was there, and they were roaming around, and they used to hack people up, and then they vanished. And then some old guy will say, yeah, there was so-and-so. He used to hack people up, but now he just vanished. We don't know where he is. But that was a long time ago. Don't worry, kids. And of course, usually it's a bunch of kids, and they're going to go camp somewhere, and you're looking around, and one of the kids, you might be the kid, and you're going to say, wow, this is weird. Let's go home, right? And it's like the other kids are going to make fun of that kid, and they're going to say, we're not going anywhere. This is great. We're going to hang out in the woods, and we're going to have a good time. And then that kid is going to say, well, what about the guy that was hacking everybody up? And they're going to be like, come on, that was a long time ago, but they never found him, right? That's going to be key. So if you're that person that said, but they never found them, the audience is going to think, that kid's got a point. They never found that guy. Got a point. You know what I'm saying? When you say that, you're going to be like, but they never found him. And really, sell that. So they'll go in there, they'll go in the woods, they're going to have a good time, they're partying and everything, they don't care. There's the guy that's hacking people up, hasn't been around for a long time, and they're just all having a good time. And then in the middle of the night, somebody's going to hear something. A branch will crack or something. And then somebody will scream, and they'll run out, and they'll look around, and they won't see anything. And one of the guys, probably a big football player guy, he's going to say, see, there's nothing to worry about. And then he's going to lose his head. All of a sudden, a blade's going to come in and take his head right off. And then everybody's going to be like, oh my God, what happened? He lost his head. They're going to show the blood coming out of his neck and everything else. They're going to have a really big close-up on that. So if you're playing that guy, you're going to be standing like this, and they're going to have blood coming out. You're going to have a dumbfounded look before you lose your head. You'll be like this, there's nothing going on here. And they'll close up, you'll be like, there's nothing going on here. And then boom, your head's gone. That's going to happen in the horror movie. And then later on, you're going to have a lot of opportunities to make decisions that are opposite of what people outside of a horror movie will do. Like at that moment, after the football player guy loses his head, most people will say, let's get in the car and go home. But they're all going to agree that they should spend the night there watching and waiting with the decapitated body until morning when they can go to the sheriff's, because they'll say something like, well, it's too dark, we can't go now, we'll lose ourselves, we won't be able to see road signs or something. And then, well, why don't we call the sheriff and have him come out? Somebody will say maybe. And they'll look and go, oh, I forgot my cell phone. How about you, Charlie? And Charlie will be, I forgot mine too. I left mine home. Everybody's going to have left their cell phones at home, so they can't call. And then one of them might say, oh, wait, I have my cell phone. And then he or she will go look at the cell phone and say, oh, but there's no service. Okay? So then you're set. You're there the whole night, and they're waiting around, and there's the body there without a head, and they're concerned, and they might start a fire. This is what's going to happen. And of course, throughout the night, one by one, each one of the kids are going to lose their head, and then there's going to be less and less and less until there'll be one person left with all the headless bodies at the end of the night. Now, if you're that person, if you're that one person left with all the headless bodies, you're going to be required to do some additional acting because you're going to be shivering. They do the shiver a lot in the horror movies. The person will be so overcome with fear, you'll be... So see what I'm doing? Well, all my friends lost their head. I don't know what to do. Well, we should have listened to the old guy. He was trying, even though they didn't see him, this guy that chops people up is still around. I don't know what's going on. So this is what's going to happen. So you're going to be, right in there. You're going to be showing that, the shiver, the horror movie shiver. You're going to get that down. If you want to do well in horror movies, you got to get that shiver down, that overwhelmed. You're overwhelmed and shivering. And then towards the end of the evening, just before light, all of a sudden, the crazy guy with the big axe is going to show up. And if you're the one left, you're going to have to face that guy. You're going to have to face your fears. And this is where the shivering comes in again, because you're shivering and you look to the audience like you'll never be able to do anything about this. You're going to shiver yourself to death. But then all of a sudden, you look around, you look at all your headless friends, and you make up your mind, and we see you make up your mind. You're like, no, this ends here. You see what I'm saying? No. This ends here. And then you go in there and you fight the guy and you grab the axe and you chop the axe and then you run out on the road because the sun's coming up and a truck driver nearly hits you and he says, what's going on? And then they go and you're at the sheriff's station and you're telling everybody and sheriff's like, you're lucky to be alive. And then you're like, I know, I'm lucky to be alive. So anyway, this is how you go about doing a horror film. So I hope this helped you and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.